Hey everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns with a tabletop video review. A little bit different product. Haven't reviewed a paintball gun in some time, and I know I had promised that I was going to be reviewing or doing the field test shooting video for the John Wayne Little Duke, sort of like a Red Ryder copy, but I got my hands on this a little earlier than I thought I would, and I wanted to show this off with a proper tabletop video review. This is the Umarex Walther PPQ M2 .43 paintball pistol, and again, this is the tabletop video. I haven't shot it yet. I have watched a few other videos of people shooting it, and from what I've seen, it's pretty impressive. So what exactly do we have here? Let's talk about it. Now before I get into the review, I do want to mention this is in our Canada and our US Replica Airgun stores, so over at replicaairguns.ca and replicaairguns.us. So I'll put links in the description so you can click on those links and find the locations of those guns to buy right from this video. Alright, so let's get into the specifications. Again, this is a .43 caliber paintball pistol. It shoots .43 caliber rubber balls like this, right? I'm sure you could probably find maybe dust balls, different other ones, but you're gonna see it's going to be shooting a lot of these paintballs, like the typical paintballs, okay? I'm probably going to be testing it out with rubber balls here in the sea can because I don't want to make a big mess. If I go outside, I might shoot some of the paintballs, but we'll see. It uses standard 12 gram CO2 cartridges, which is nice. It is a semi-auto with blowback action. It has a metal and polymer design, so metal slide polymer frame, 9-round dropout all metal full-size magazine that holds the CO2 and the ammunition, which you can see right here. We'll get into it in a bit. This gun weighs in at 848 grams, which is about just a little under 2 pounds at 1.87 pounds. Feels really good in the hand. I'd say it's a double action trigger, and the reason I say that is because it is kind of like a striker fire gun, so you have to really, whether you're, it's not really single action, it's not short, and there's a fair bit of tension on it. A lot of striker fire guns are kind of more like double action than they are single action. Just in a lot of cases, it's a lighter double action feel. This paintball gun has a claimed 290 FPS, so we'll be checking that out. It is fully licensed, so it has the PPQ Walther licensing via Umarex, and it has yellow dot sights front and back with an adjustable rear sight for windage. You can get it in two different versions. It comes in the all black one, which you see right here, and you can get it in flat dark earth two-tone. So it would have the black slide with the flat dark earth frame. And if you haven't noticed, it's a pretty darn accurate copy of the real steel PPQ M2. Now there's a difference between the M2 and the M1. I'll get into that really soon. This paintball gun is distributed by Umarex. That said, it is manufactured by a company called T4E, which stands for Training for Engagement. They don't actually sell the paintball version over on their website. They do have some rifles that use .43 caliber paintball / rubber ball ammunition. They do have a similar version of this, but from what I can tell, at least at this time, it's only an airsoft over on their website. So perhaps Umarex made a deal with them, asked them to make this for them, since they were kind of specialists in the field of .43 caliber paintball guns. I'm not really sure what the deal is. Maybe Umarex is allowed to sell it first. Maybe this T4E company will sell it later. I don't know. Now, a lot of these .43 caliber paintball guns are designed for primarily law enforcement and military training tools to recreate a safe training gun with as much precision and realism as possible, and I wouldn't doubt that this is the purpose of this gun too. It does come in a nice hard shell case. See if we can get that in here. A Walther license. I know it's upside down, but I'm going to open it up for you guys. So nice quality case like you'd find in a real gun, for a real gun. Inside we have two springs. So this is the softer spring, it's the black spring, and it's for when you're using paintballs. You also have a cleaning rod. Inside the magazine you're going to find is called the gold spring, which is a dark gold, and it's for the rubber balls. So it's a little firmer. That's basically that way so that you don't break the softer paintballs or dust balls or whatever you happen to be using. Alright, as I promised, I did want to sort of show a couple different guns. I'm going to put this magazine in here for now. Now this gun is the Umarex, it's called the P99Q, right? So P99Q, but it's basically a PPQ. I'm not sure why they called this P99Q, but it looks like a PPQ in pretty much every way. And the differences are with the PPQ model, or version 1 M1, is that it has a different ambidextrous magazine release. Now on this gun it doesn't work at all because it's a pellet shooter, but that would be an ambidextrous magazine release, and you'll notice under here it doesn't flare out as much. On the M2, notice it flares out a lot more, and you have a standard mag release. Now this mag release on the real steel version can be switched around, so it can be ambidextrous. I'm not sure about this gun, but I would imagine you could. But you'll notice the magazine just comes flying out too, which is really nice. So it's going to be great for you know, speed loading, speed mag release, and putting a new magazine in, which is what you kind of want to use this gun for training. So that's a good thing. You want to get it to work similar to the real steel version. On the PPQ M1, no, on this pellet version it has a safety, but it's not really a safety. You'll notice there's no trigger safety on here, but that's just a pellet gun thing. This gun isn't exactly like the real steel version. I just wanted to show you that they are very similar. The big difference is the magazine release, okay? That's the biggest difference. I did also want to show another .43 caliber paintball gun, and this is a RAP 4/RAP 5. This is a SIG copy, and it is a paintball gun, but it uses the stick mag, so a little different setup versus the full-size mag. And you have this big CO2 screw type thing, cap, coming out the bottom. So in terms of realism, it's not going to be, you know, quite as real, but this gun's fun. You can watch my video for this gun as well. It's the Ram X50. It's by RAP 4/RAP 5, and they make it, and you know, it did pretty good. It was a lot of fun to shoot. It's great for training simulations for sure. Alright, so at this point let's do a walk around and take a good look. Okay, let's look at the left side here. Alright, so we have beautiful metal slide with all of the markings right in the slide. Okay, you do have ambidextrous slide catch releases, and you have a lot of original markings on here too, right? Walther markings. Now this does not come down, so I'm not sure how to field strip it. This is molded in, so you probably have to take some pins out or something to actually field strip it. You do have your rail on the front, very nice trigger guard, everything looks great. Working trigger safety, so you do need to actually depress the trigger safety to make it work. Again, your magazine release, and that magazine has the spring on it, so it really pops out nicely. Okay, we'll look at the magazine in a bit. I'll just take it out for now, but I want to walk around the rest of the gun. Okay, you have your PPQ markings on the grips. You have some other markings here. I can't really see what it says. What does it say? Well, hopefully you can read it. I'm not really sure what that says. You do have your yellow dot sight in the back. It is adjustable. Okay, moving forward, you have yellow dot on the front. You have a full open ejection port. You can see right through the mag well. When you lock it back, it doesn't lock back all the way like it would on a normal gun. It's not a full slide action like an airsoft gun, but it's enough to give that blowback action. Okay. Now when you pop this guy out, you have your CO2 screw or Allen key for your CO2 screw. I'll just show that right now, so you can just pop that forward, load your CO2, right? I'll get into the mag in a bit, but I just wanted to show off this Allen key that's built right into the gun. Nicely located where you're going to be able to find it easily. More PPQ markings, serial number, warning instructions. So here's the opposite side of your mag release, so you probably can switch it around, I'm assuming, right? Ambidextrous slide catch release. And this is here where it says the T4E, so I knew that that's where it was made. .43 caliber. Really nice gun. And I like that the barrel is full size. Nice 43. It looks like a 45. It's almost like you're shooting a 45 or a 40 cal gun. Right, really nice. Alright, let's take a look at the mag. Alright. So you put your ammunition in there. Right. Got your follower that locks down while you're loading it. CO2 goes in the back. Right here. Got your valve. Right, and again, this can come forward. Even the bottom of this is marked. I mean, everything, a lot of detail. You really can't tell that this gun, you know, if you're holding it like this, how would you tell? I mean, it looks so much like the real steel version. Other than, you know, when you pull the slide back and maybe look at some of the markings, that's really the only way to tell. Like I said, even the butt plate is fully licensed. Beautiful gun. And again, I haven't shot this gun, so I really don't know how it's going to perform, but from the videos that I've watched on it, people are pretty excited about it. They really like the way it shoots. It's got a decent amount of power. Some people have even shot themselves intentionally from a distance with the rubber balls, and they said it really stings. So, you know, in terms of this being a gun for non-lethal self-defense, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sure if someone's running at you in a t-shirt and you start pounding them with 8-9 rounds of rubber bullets, it could be a pretty significant deterrent. Is it going to stop somebody crazy on drugs who doesn't feel anything anyways? Probably not. You're not going to have enough stopping power at all for that, I'm sure. But, you know, maybe in some situations it would be useful. Definitely looks the part. Definitely going to sting somebody when they get shot with it. Probably scare the pants off of them. But in terms of actually stopping somebody who really wants to hurt you, I don't know. Let's get into some of the pros and the cons. Really great weight to this gun. That magazine, once it's in there, makes the gun feel nice and heavy. With the magazine out, it feels a little bit lighter, but the combination with the magazine and the metal slide and everything, this gun does have some decent weight to it. And I do like that the full metal slide will lock back when you're out of ammunition because of the follower. So you're probably going to want to get a few magazines with this gun if you can locate them. I'm not sure if we have them right now, but hopefully we can get some in for you because 9 rounds, you're going to go through that pretty quick. Now the all-metal, heavy, full-size dropout magazine does add that additional weight to the gun, as I mentioned. So it's a good thing it's not that sort of metal plastic magazine that you see in some air guns. And it's a super accurate Walther PPQ M2 replica, almost indistinguishable from the real steel version in every way. Everything works pretty much like the real gun, so a great training tool. And I like that it has the adjustable rear sight for windage and their yellow dot, which is going to make them easy to see on a variety of different colored targets. I also like the fact that the magazine spring release shoots out that magazine in a hurry, so when you're reloading you're going to easily be able to drop that mag, get it out of the way to allow for a new magazine. And the fact that it's .43 caliber means that that barrel opening is going to be nice and large, and that's going to add to the realism and authenticity of this gun. Alright, a couple cons. The trigger pull seems a bit long as it shoots like a double action trigger. That's sort of typical of striker fired guns. I'm not sure if it is a striker fire assembly inside, but it does kind of have that double action feel, perhaps a little bit lighter than some. And again, that magazine only holds 9 rounds, so you probably want to get a couple additional magazines if you can get your hands on them. Now the blowback action is not full blowback, it's sort of that partial one, I'd say 3/4 blowback, typical of your standard BB pistol. Again, this gun is available in our Canada and our US Replica airgun stores over at replicaairguns.ca and replicaairguns.us. So check those links out in the description if you're interested in buying one of these guns. Also come on down to replicaairguns.com where I have articles, posts, reviews, additional photos of the YouTube videos that I make. So make sure to check out the link to the blog where you can see the written version of this review with additional photos. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe before you head out. Also check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.